No, I'm not kidding. Now, it's not entirely true. I bought it with 143,000 miles, and now it has 157,000 miles. So, I titled it 150 because that's about average. And that's a good benchmark. So, why did I buy a 2011 Coyote, first gen of the Coyote, with 150,000 miles? Well, when I was looking for them, I was also looking at the 3 valves. And all of those had either 110 to 100, even up to 150,000 miles, and they were still asking 10 grand, 12 grand for them. And they all had like every bolt-on you can imagine. But this was 10.8. I bought it for 10.8, and it was stock except for it had axle backs and a Hirsch shifter. So, even though it was stock, it still made more power than the 3 valves with a bolt-on. And it had the same mileage, so why not get the one that makes more power out of the box if it's the same price? Looks-wise, I didn't really care. They both look good to me, and they're still the same body frame, the S197. However, I've had some problems with it, and I also have upgraded quite a bit of it. So let's dive into that. The first upgrade I did, which is pretty obvious, were the TSW Nürburgring wheels. I bought these off Craigslist. The previous owner used them as a road racing set for his Boss 302, so I know A, they fit Mustangs, and B, that they were strong and durable, because if the wheel can't road race, then why should it be on the road at all? They're 18 by 9.5 all the way around, and I also got 275 by 40 by 18-inch tires all the way around. Skimped out on the tires and went with General G-Max tires. They were the cheapest, and although I didn't really want the cheapest, that's what I had to go with at the time. So far, no complaints. This car did also come with a big brake kit, and not sure what it is, but you know, it works. And I don't know if I'll upgrade them to the Brembos off like the Shelby GT 500, but you know, it's in the back of my mind that that's might be something I want to do. The next thing I did was plastidip. Now, I didn't do the best job, but it's also not the worst. I want to do gold because black and gold is a very classy combination. So I plastidip the emblem, the spoiler, the mirror covers, and the pony on the front, and also the trunk emblem surround. Peeled it off months ago, but again, I didn't do a very good job, so this has stayed on there. I've just been too lazy to remove it. But it kind of differentiates my car from other ones. Also, I got a friend who does vinyl to cut me a matte black American flag. Very subtle, yet it's there, and I think it adds a lot to the car. The next big mod I did was the whole front end. I replaced the headlights and the lower front fascia with the aftermarket style S550 headlights and the Boss / California Special style lower valence, with the Boss California style lower fascia. The grill, I took out the headlights and just added in this wire mesh that I did myself, so it was a total of probably $8 for all the materials. These headlights are the S550 style. I didn't get them from CJ Boney Parts. I got them off eBay because I'm pretty sure they're all the same. The only issue I had is the left one, the most inner tri-bar, the very top LED doesn't light up. You can only tell when you're walking far away, but if you stand up and look down, you can't tell that much. I also went with the fog lights in the lower fascia because I knew I was going to get rid of these fog lights, and I'll probably upgrade these to LED pods later on down the road. Now, these headlights do light up in sequential order, so when I press the unlock button, it does 2 of the 3 in amber, and then it glows up in white. And you can see right here at the top, the LED's out. And it stays there for a while, and then when you lock it, it just does the inner 2 once. And the innermost tri-bar, the top one, should light up. The other side is out, so this is what it should look like. It doesn't have halos, and the bulb in it is kind of yellow. Also, we're planning on replacing that with an LED. I haven't done a single thing to the back. It came with the Raxium taillights and the Boss or California Special lower valence as well. However, the Raxium lights were chipped off in this area, actually on both of them. And I'm not sure why. As you can see, the exhaust tip is very rusty, so what I believe the previous owner did was just buy straight off eBay. And since they are rust, that means they're not aluminum, so they're obviously not of good quality. But I'll give it to them, it is kind of loud. Going off the exhaust, I did install the Boss 302 side pipes and H-pipe. They do fit on normal GTs, so if that's something you want to do, I've already done it, so you can do it too. And let me tell you, without the restrictors on it, it's very, very gurgly and not bubbly, but it's not as crackly, but it's as gurgly as I want it, so it's perfect for me. So as I said, it does have 157,000 miles. Right now you can see it's almost to 158,000. Now it is the base GT, so it has the base model steering wheel. No navigation, no sync, just the radio, CD player, and an aux. No heated or cooled seats. The driver's seat is actually all, manually adjustable. It's not electronic. Cloth seats, and the back seats were actually in really good shape for such high mileage, and so was the driver's seat. There's no tears. There's just a little wrinkle right here. But for 157,000 miles, that's ridiculously clean, because usually they'll start tearing at 120 or so with leather, and this had not a scratch on it. So I knew it was taken care of. And as you can see, the Hurst shifter was previously installed. Now I did go to a mechanic that works on a lot of Mustangs, and he said, even by the way, I was shifting because he rode in the passenger seat and never drove it. He could tell that this probably wasn't a full-on Hurst. It was just the levering up to make it look like a Hurst, and I'm starting to think he's right, because it's kind of sloppy from what he was telling me a Hurst should feel like. So that'll probably be a mod in the near future. I'll probably go with MGW, because I've read they're the best to go with the MT82 transmission if the transmission doesn't blow up. But so far, so good. And the only problems I've really had with it is the left front brake caliper seized up. One of the pistons seized up, and had to get that replaced. Other than that, it's been really reliable. Changed the oil when I should, and so far it's been good. The rear diff was leaking, but got that fixed. It was a slow leak, but it still allowed road grime just to build up on the back, and it just looked terrible. So got that taken care of. But yeah, overall it's been really reliable, and I don't really care about the high miles, because even if it does have high miles, that means somebody had to take care of it to get it to the high miles. So I knew it wasn't going to be the worst car. I did buy it from a dealer. It was a guy who sold out of his yard. He had a dealer license, but it was still like maybe 10 cars a month, so it wasn't full-on dealership. But he said he got the oil strained and there's no metal shavings in there. Took his word on it, and yeah, so far so good. And this is what the engine looks like. It's a little dusty, but overall it's really, really clean for such a high mileage car, which again, I knew the owner actually took care of this and didn't just beat on it. And they did install a JLT oil separator, so that was also a key that, hey, they wanted this car to last. And it was probably somebody who was on the highway a lot, For their job, they had to drive, I don't know, maybe 100 miles a day or something, traveling salesman. I don't know the full story, but it's a lot of highway miles, I know that. For a 2011 with 160,000, 150,000, has to be someone who travels daily. And with it being mostly stock, that begs the question, are you going to do anything to it? I'll probably get a PMAS air intake, probably keep the throttle body the same, probably keep the stock intake manifold. Might go with Boss, but I really want the low-end torque, as these are not the most torquey motors. I know torquey isn't a word, but that's how I'm going to describe it. Other than that, I don't know if I'll get a cam. They're kind of expensive, but I probably will do headers, probably Cooks, with the Cooks H-pipe for the Boss Mustang. The rear, I guess they're just side lights and reflectors. Those don't work, but the ones in the front do. I replaced the bulb, they still don't work, so the fuse is not blown because it controls all of them. So I'm still not 100% sure on what that is. Also, the car came with 5% tint all the way around except for the windshield, even on the back. But on the passenger and driver window, I replaced it to 35%, but I left the back 5% because I don't really care about those. because driving at night with 5% just, it was impossible. So let me show you what the current exhaust setup sounds like. So yeah, I bought a 150,000 mile Mustang, and so far it's treated me right. So if you're wondering how many miles is too much on a Coyote motor, how many miles can I buy a used Coyote motor and it'd still be fine, I bought it at 143 and I haven't had a problem. But that's only if you take care of it.